Hi, angels, and welcome. I'm your host, Lisa Everding, founder of Earthy Angels, and I'm on a mission to empower women to live authentically and to take exquisite care of themselves. You can find us on earthyangels.com or head over to our show notes to follow us on socials. Hi angels, happy New Year's. Today's episode is all about embracing the new year, about stepping into your ideal future self, your ideal identity, a woman who has and knows what she wants, but more importantly, gaining clarity, gaining connection back to your values, but also aligning with authentic abundance, helping you identify who you are, what you want, and getting rid of the superficial goals that don't last and taking you on a deeper journey to find what's fulfilling for you, but also helping you reach your goals, helping you manifest your heart's desires, and helping you step into the most loving, abundant, joyful 2025 and beyond. Happy New Year's, angels. I hope you've had the most amazing time celebrating New Year's, ready to embark on a new year, ready to step into your ideal future self, ready to manifest your heart's desires, but also more importantly, ready for more growth, ready for more evolution, ready to discover more about yourself, ready to align more with your authentic self and who you are and what you want. And that's what I want to go through with you today, is all about stepping into your power in the new year, getting clear on your values, identifying what you want, but also back to authentic abundance and to authentic alignment, which I think is going to be, well, I know it's my theme for the year, and I think it's going to be really, really important for me to teach a lot more on that. I'm just feeling a calling to share more empowering messages about helping you return to your authentic self and to discover what is actually an authentic alignment for you and what authentic abundance means for you. It's funny, right? Like, I was going to record this episode last week. I wanted to have it up ready for you for New Year's Day, and I just wasn't feeling it, right? And I will never force an episode. I will never get something out just for the sake of it. I always I ask for to be this like channel, to be this conduit that source speaks through me and shares with you what needs to come up and what the community and the collective need to hear. So last week, you may have felt this way as well. The week between Christmas and New Year, I felt I was in a funk. I felt I was, exhausted, like indulgent. I felt sick from eating too much food. I felt like I just needed a rest. We had these plans of, we were going to do a lot more painting, to get it stuck into a few renos. I've still got time, right? I've got 2 weeks off, so I will get stuck into that with this new burst of energy. But we were finding ourselves laying on the deck of an afternoon, having a nap or reading a book, and just felt like doing really nothing. And I feel that often happens between Christmas and New Year, where you just feel this period of, you're just so exhausted from the festive season that you just need a little bit of a rest. And so that's okay. You might feel ready over the next couple of days to kind of get stuck into what you want for New Year. It might not happen for you New Year's Day. You might be on school holidays with the kids, and you feel when the kids go back to school, that's when you can kind of reset. It doesn't matter when, right? And it doesn't matter when you listen to this episode, because this episode is all about returning to your authentic self. This episode is helping you step into your ideal future self and manifesting your heart and soul's desires and getting clarity on who you are and what you want and what authentic abundance means for you. So I actually had a really quiet New Year's, which was so nice. We just spent it with family and had a barbecue with family. I was in bed before midnight. And what's really important to me is watching in the sunrise, seeing in the sunrise and seeing the morning come to life on New Year's Day. Over the years, that has become a real ritual of mine to welcome in New Year's Day as opposed to having a big New Year's Eve. remembering there's no right or wrong, whatever feels called, in your heart and soul to do. Because I have no doubt there will still be years up of, in front of me where we will have a big New Year's Eve. But just for me at the moment, I'm just really loving the energy of starting the day, starting the year, seeing in the sunrise. So that's what I did this morning. I went out to my deck and saw the most beautiful sunrise. I love being up at first light before the sunrise happens. You get those beautiful colors across the sky. Like we are just so blessed where we are now, overlooking the water, seeing all the sun rays across like diamonds across the water, and just sitting in gratitude, just sitting in reflection. I spend a bit of time, my whole family's asleep, so I've got the morning to myself, and I spend a bit of time in reflection, on reflecting how far I've come, reflecting on what I've learned for the last year, what my biggest takeaways have been for the last year, what growth I've had for the last year, feeling proud of my accomplishments for the last year, but also looking forward to, what does this new year represent for me? What do I want to create? What do I want to manifest? What do I want to achieve? What are my goals, my visions? And I was sitting in all of that this morning, and I was also just sitting in mindfulness. I was just sitting in the energy of being grateful for where I am, being grateful for my loved ones, being grateful for me, being grateful for my health and wellness, being grateful for sipping my raw cacao, being grateful for my dog, like just all the things. I was just sitting in so much gratitude. And I thought, I need to pull a card for you guys. I knew I was going to record a podcast episode because I felt the energy of this, like, like the energy where you just feel ready. You feel ready to go. You feel ready to, like, you have this new wave of, it's like you can't explain it. You just have this new wave of energy kind of stirring up inside you. So I knew I was going to get on and record this morning. And I thought, okay, I need to pull a card for you guys. What empowering message do I need to leave for you guys? And the card I pulled was presence. And my first thought was, like, is that it? because for me, presence is something I have been practicing for for quite a number of years now. I have really been practicing in my meditation, in my practice in my yoga, in my studio, on my walks, on being with my loved ones. I have been so, I guess, I shouldn't say the word training myself, but I have been training myself to be more present and training myself to be more mindful and to be in the now. So much more that for me, it's second nature, like it's just something that I do. I can sit out in nature for an hour and not get bored, just taking it all in. The old me quite a few years back would have just gone stir crazy, but I have really learnt the power in presence, in peace. And I have learnt that that's where you manifest from. That's where you create from. That's where you tap into your intuition, you tap into your guidance, you tap into your power, you tap into this inner knowing, is sitting in presence. And then I started thinking about it as I was reading this card. Like, I'll read you a little bit of this card. It says sometimes we get so caught up in the past and future, what we should or shouldn't have done, or what we hope for, what will or won't happen. We forget about the only moment that actually exists, the now. Now is the moment where everything is, all the beauty, all the wisdom, and all the power. You drew this card because the answer to your question can only be found when you relinquish the fear, the worry, and the distraction that arise when you mistakenly place your attention and energy on the past and the future. And so this card also speaks about, remember who you are. Step into presence and listen to the loving guidance and calm, the inner knowing that will well up from within. So this is really fitting for you guys today, because when you sit in presence, you connect into the now, you connect into it's like a compass, your internal compass, your internal guidance system, your divine wisdom, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. You tap into this infinite flow of energy that it's always available to you. It's always there. But when you're so distracted with your worries and your fears and your doubts, or what lies ahead, or what's been, and get stuck in all the past stories, you disconnect yourself from this power. So your power to create, your power to manifest, your power to identify your values, your power to identify what's authentic to you, it all lies in the now, and it all lies in presence. So I'm like, oh my God, of course, this is such a fitting card and a really powerful way to kick off this episode is to really understand this year moving forward how important being in the now is, how important the presence is. You know, like there's so many amazing books that you can read on it. Eckhart Tolle writes a book on the power of now, one of the most amazing books. Like so many books that I read all talk about, so many spiritual books, so many wise books, so many intuitive books, all talk about the power of the now. So really try and make that a focus for you this year is how can I embrace more of the now? And you might want to start rituals and practices of yoga, of Pilates, of meditation, of mindfulness, of trying to let go of some of the distraction. You might feel so overwhelmed and fatigued and exhausted from being in your head that this year you may need to actually live in your heart space a lot more, which I highly encourage every single one of you do because it's amazing. And that is where you will find your authentic abundance and your authentic alignment lies, is living from more of your heart and soul. And so I thought to myself, that's a really powerful card to kick off this episode, because I want to start this episode by getting you to write down and ask the question, what does authentic abundance mean to me? What does authentic alignment or abundance or authenticity mean to me? To get clear on your values. You know, it's funny that this is going to be my theme for the year, right? Is really speaking into what lights my soul up, what is authentic to me. And a couple of years ago, back in 2023, I had at the top of my vision board, return to authenticity. Little did I know back then what that year was going to unfold for me, but I just had this feeling, this urge in my heart and soul that I just needed to get back to my authentic self. I quit working with my business coach at the time because I actually want a spiritual coach. I actually want to dive into spirituality and discover more about myself. And then what unfolded, which you can go back to episodes 1, 2, and 3 and have a listen to, was my hair started falling out. Don't get freaked out. I'm not saying this is going to happen to you, but this is what happened to me, right? I ended up getting this intuitive nudge, like this trusting in myself. I taught myself to trust in myself because I made a decision to get my breast implants out because I felt like that was a cause of my hair loss. So it really taught me to trust in my intuition. And that was a big part of the problem. I got them out, my hair grew back, but most importantly, what happened on a deeper level is I stripped back the layers of ego. My implants I attached to ego, right? This exterior of ourself, what we feel like we need to have to look perfect, to be perfect, to fit in, to feel womanly, whatever it is. I was so attached to this ego part of me, which we all are, and I still have elements of that as well. It's never going to go all together, but I had to strip back these layers physically first of ego to really return back to feeling so in love with myself as my authentic self, to feel so in love with my soul, to feel so in love with the woman that I was without the need for perfection, without feeling like I needed this other part of me to feel beautiful. I didn't. So I just stripped back so many layers to return to authenticity. So I've been on a little period of growth for those last couple of years. And that was kind of a theme that I had on my vision board. And to be careful what you wish for. No, just kidding. Like I'm so grateful for that journey because it just taught me so much about myself. It made me a powerful leader. It gave me the confidence to get on here and speak to you guys. Like so much has unfolded, and I've had so much growth from that journey. And what I really felt into now moving forward is to really align with authentic abundance. What does authentic abundance look like for me? What lights my heart and soul up? What makes my soul shine? Because happiness is in doing what lights your soul up. And we can get so distracted in feeling like we want these things, because feeling like we have to take the next step up, feeling because society kind of makes you feel like you need bigger and better things, or more things are going to make you happier, or like all these exterior things that we search for on the outside are not actually going to bring you the happiness that you will discover when you do the meaningful self-discovery work on the inside. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting material things. Like, I love wealth, I love stuff, but it's really taught me about, I'll give you an example, right? So what I mean by this, so authentic abundance. So we thought, we had a goal that we wanted to live on the water one day when our kids finished school. And I thought that we would live in this big, fancy, multi-million-dollar house on the canals in this, prestigious estate. I kind of just thought that would be our next step. And then this house that unfolded for us 6 months ago was initially not what I thought I wanted, but it turned out exactly what my heart and soul wanted and needed, because I would journal for years. I wanted house, grass, sand, water, expansive sunrise views. And if I was to go in that house on the canal, nothing wrong with that. They're still, absolutely beautiful. And which would give us a lot of what we wanted. We love the waterways. It would give us access to a jetty, have our jet skis out there, go and explore, have time out on beach, time out in nature. Exactly what we wanted. But you just can't see a lot of these places. You can't see this beautiful sunrise view from houses on the other side of the canal, right? So we ended up getting this older house that we have been renovating and working on. And every morning I go out, if I'm not in the studio, I go out to my deck and I sit there and I watch the sunrise and I see my sand, like the beach, because a lot of canals still, you just have rocks that go down onto the water. I see my sand. I see this beautiful, big, expansive sunrise come to life. And I just feel so fulfilled in my heart and soul. And I go, thank you, universe. This is what my soul needed, but not what I thought I wanted. So getting back to like authentic abundance, I've really discovered this last 6 months, like this is authentic abundance for me. Like we're going to create this house exactly how we want. That's going to be beautiful for us, but I don't need the 4 living rooms anymore and all the things that we had. We've actually returned to a lot of simplicity, but we feel so fulfilled and so happy and are just living in this place of authentic abundance and authentic alignment. Yeah, I still love the stuff. I've still got on my vision board, I want 2 new jet skis. I want a new car. Like there's still things that I have on there that I want, because at the end of last year, like I've been without a car for 5 weeks. We've still had challenges, right? Like moving into this house has been amazing. It hasn't all been like 100% smooth sailing. There's still been, I want to be honest with you guys, there's still been challenges. There's still been, issues, money that we've had to put into things that we didn't expect. There's still been challenges along the way. My car had died at the end of last year, and being that Christmas period, waiting for a part that took a lot longer. So it's kind of made me clear on a few things that I do want going into 2025. And some of them are some material things. There is nothing wrong with wanting material things. There is nothing wrong with having big dreams and big goals. So really getting back to authentic abundance and what that means for you. And some of these material things are amazing. Like you need money to travel, right? So there's nothing wrong with desiring money. You need money if you want to, if you want to go and travel, if you want to go and see nice places, if you want to experience nice things. Like we love having access on our jet skis because they take us over to the most beautiful beach in the world. We love it over in Jumping Pin, and it's about the feeling, right? For me, it's about the feeling of that exhilaration. It's about the feeling of being out in nature. It's about the feeling of getting out on of exploring, of letting my inner wild woman, run wild and feeling the freedom. Like that's what I love. So it gets back to that feeling of what feels really, really good for you, and what that will bring for you. So asking the question, are the things that you want, are they because that's what your friends have got? Are they because, like you feel like you need a bigger title, you need a bigger car or a fancier car or a fancier house, or all the things because of status, because of ego, because of representing to the outside world this appearance of wealth? Or is it important that you want these things because that's what's important to you and your family? So there's no right or wrong with wanting anything, but just asking a question like, why do I want it? How's it going to fulfill me? How's it going to light me up? What happiness is it going to bring me and my family? Is it going to bring me more authentic abundance and fulfillment? Is it going to light my soul up? Or am I wanting it because that's what my friends, because that's what I think I need to want, or because that's what society tells you that you want? So just getting back to what is really, really important for you. So what I want to really dive into today is diving into your future self, diving into your ideal future self, what that looks like for you, and helping you get clear on some goals that are actually going to be more long lasting. Okay, I'll give you an example, because what often happens is we hit New Year's, right? And we go, okay, I want to lose 5 kilos in 8 weeks, or I have certain body fat percentage goals I want to hit, or I have these goals that I think I want. But then how many times do they, do you quit a couple of weeks in? If you just look back at the past and go, what goals have I set? Have I achieved them? Have I not achieved them? If not, why? Like what stopped me? Maybe your goals weren't your big, deep desire, your burning desire. Why? Maybe your goals were a little bit more superficial. Maybe your goals were, you have to connect them to your why. You have to connect them to that deep reason of, why do I actually want this? Okay. So example of, people think I want to hit this weight loss goal. Now, for me, having been in the health and fitness industry for many years, but before that, for working on my body for many years and looking after myself for many years, my kids are now like 18 and 20, and my kids were younger. I had this vision of, I wanted optimal health and fitness for life. That was like the name of my last PT business, Optimal Health and Fitness, because I wanted energy to keep up with my kids. I wanted energy and good health for adventure, for fun, for travel, for experiences, for getting up and being able to run up and down the playground, pushing my kids on the flying fox, doing the fun things with my kids. Like, that was really important to me. I wanted a fit and able body to have experiences with my husband, like we wanted to travel, we wanted adventure. There was things that we want to do. So for me, health and fitness has always come back to the reason of life experience, for the reason of having energy to keep up with my family. So for me, health and fitness, eating well, exercising, working out, my mindset has always been a non-negotiable, because it's become part of who I am at a fundamental level. Not something I do when I have time, not something I do when I have the energy to, when I have the energy to actually feel like doing it. No way. Like, it has been a non-negotiable, and it's become a part of who I am. I remember going to a Tony Robbins conference a few years back, and we were blessed enough to, it was one of my bucket list things, was to go to one of his conferences. We ended up getting free tickets because Tom set up this. And again, this unfolded in a way that I could never have imagined. Tom has a cryotherapy business, and he did the cryotherapy, set it up for Tony Robbins, like kind of a big deal for him. And so we got free tickets to go to his Unleash the Power Within conference. Like, life-changing. I love listening to him. He's an incredible human being and just has so much wisdom to share. And I remember him saying, I can look around and I can see out of the crowd, I can see who, I can't remember his exact words, I'm paraphrasing here, right? But he said, I can see who has the expectancy of, I can see by your body, I can see by your state, who exercise is important too, because it just becomes part of your expectancy. It becomes part of who you are, because you just have this expectancy of taking care of yourself. It just is your state. And that really stuck with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that has been a foundation of who I am for like 20 years. So I can speak on this from experience, right? This has become an expectancy for me, because that has been one of my highest values. And so because it's a high value area for me, I've invested the time into it. I've invested time in working out. I've invested time in taking care of my body. I've invested time in exercise. I've invested time in my mindset, because that has just been something that has been so ingrained in me that it's formed part of who I am. It hasn't come from a goal of, I want to lose 5 kilos. My goal has been to have that state of wellness, to have that state of energy. So you have to back it up with actions, and back it up with habits, and back it up with steps that are going to get you there. So if I have a goal that I want to be healthy, I want to have energy, I want to have a toned, strong body, what steps do you need to take? Like what kind of a woman do I need to become? I need to become a woman who exercises. I need to become a woman who preps her food. I need to become a woman who prioritizes time for her exercise. So over the years, that is just who I've become. So that exercise is just something that I've always done without having to think about it. So that's where your goals become, I guess, more ingrained in your being, ingrained in part of who you are, just like getting up and brushing your teeth. So I want to take you through some of the processes in how I got there and how you can too, because how you see yourself is who you become and who you step into. So how I saw myself was always somebody who was fit, healthy, and active, right? And what was important to me is wellness and health. I never focused on I'm not going to get sick, because they say the universe doesn't hear no. I focused on what I wanted. And what I wanted was a healthy, fit, and able and strong body, because your mind is so powerful and your subconscious beliefs become your reality. So you need to reprogram your subconscious beliefs at a deeper level, because identity is the highest human form that you create from. So my identity was a woman who's fit and healthy and strong. And so we obviously create from that spiritual level, but on the human plane, our identity is everything. So what I'm going to really talk to you about today is redefining your identity, is really redefining your ideal self, your ideal future self, and who she looks like for you, because this is where you create from. There is power in filling your mind and filling your heart and soul with thoughts and beliefs and affirmations and feelings about the woman you want to become, and fleshing out the version of you that is living your dream life, fleshing out the version of you that is fulfilling her vision. Who is she? What does she want? Now, I'm not saying you have to change yourself or become someone else. That's why I spoke about at the beginning. What does authentic abundance mean for you? What is your highest value areas? Because we must always be true to our authentic self. Because if you go down the path of trying to want something because you think that other people have got it, or you need to compete or keep up or fit in, you're always going to have your soul is always going to bring you back to alignment. So if you start creating from alignment, it is the most powerful place to create from, and it's going to be long lasting and fulfilling for you. So if you want to become stronger and more confident, happier and fulfilled, and live a life of your dreams, it can feel scary, it can feel overwhelming, but you can actually achieve it. You can actually have the vision of what you want. But often what happens, we get stuck in telling ourselves, that'll never happen to me, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, that'll never be me, I can't do that. I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can. And your ultimate goal in life is to be your best self, is to grow. But your immediate path is to get you on the path of what's going to lead you there, like what's actually going to get you there. So having that awareness of what you want, having that awareness of your values. Now, I'm not going to go into today too much about what's holding you back and what's blocking you. I spoke a lot about that in the last episode, about letting go of what you don't want to carry forward. What I want to talk about today is like asking, believing, and receiving is really identifying what you do want and helping you get there by stepping into that ideal future self vision. So connecting in source, connecting into your heart and soul, connecting into those spiritual practices is so important, because it gets you back into what is meaningful for you. When I spoke about at the beginning, talking about presence, about living in the now, that's when you connect into your intuition, your guidance system. And your intuition and your guidance system helps give you the answers, helps give you the wisdom of actually how to get there, of it's like it gives you those little nudges along the way, it gives you signs, it gives you synchronicities. When you connect into your heart and soul, when you connect into your higher self, and when you connect into that power, that source that is bigger than you, it's going to help you align with what you want. So making sure in your goals and in your visions for the next year and moving forward that you have some kind of goals or some kind of intentions that you follow through with around connecting to source, around prayer, around meditation, around gratitude, around abundance, around yoga, whatever it is for you that connects you with your spirit, grounding, getting out in nature, connecting into, all the beauty all around. Those are the things that are going to connect you into this inner power, this higher power that flows through you. So really making that a priority in alignment with your values is, how can I connect into my source this year? How can I go on a deeper spiritual journey that is going to help me tune into this infinite power, this infinite resource that will help get you into alignment and help you attract what you want to attract, right? So getting back to that question, what does my ideal future self look like for me? So you may not have really heard this terminology before, okay? It's something that I'm familiar with. It's something that I've done for years. And it's something that I have used to level up, because if you get stuck in your past stories, the stories of I'm not good enough, I can't do that, or, that'll never happen to me, you're going to stay there, right? You're going to stay stuck in there and you're never going to grow. So I want to give you permission that it is so incredible to have visions, to have dreams, to have goals, to look at yourself for gratitude for who you are and the beautiful, amazing soul that you are right now, but that it's also okay to want more. It's okay to dream bigger. It's okay to have these dreams of what you want to achieve, because the soul is here to grow. The soul is here to evolve. The soul is here to step into, to level up, to step into a better version of you, to constantly be growing and evolving. Like, that should be your goal for the rest of your life. That's one of my mantras I speak to myself all the time: growth and evolution over a lifetime. Because I know when I grow, when I dream, when I vision, I open up a whole world of opportunity that is available to me. And so it's okay, girls, to want bigger and more for yourself. You don't have to settle for staying in your comfort zone. I want to encourage you, I want to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone this year, to try new things, to dream a little bigger, to think a little bit bigger, to really dream without telling yourself I'll never achieve that. Really dream into, okay, if time and money wasn't an issue, if I was to get out of my own way, who would I become? What would I step into? What is that version of me? Who is that version of me that is already living out my desires? Because you know what, if you can dream it, it's capable for you. It's possible for you. You can achieve it. If it's in your awareness, if it's in your reality, if it's in your heart and soul, if it's in your dreams, your desires, it can actually become your reality. And you just need to get out of your own way, right? Like, I've had to get out of my own way many times. So do you. But all I want you to do today is to dream and flesh out that version of you that has everything that she wants. Like, if you were to look at your ideal day, your ideal week, your ideal year, what would that look like for you? I want you to ask yourself the question. Sit with this vision of yourself, okay? Close down your eyes and ask yourself, what does that ideal future self of me look like? Who is she? How does she take care of herself? What does she have? What is her health like? How does she dress? What does she do for work? What does she, what are the kind of people that she associates with? What are her passions? What are her relationships like? How does she speak to herself? How does she treat herself? How does she nourish herself? How does she eat? What is her work-life balance like? What car does she drive? Where does she live? What practices does she do for herself daily? What does she do to invest in her growth? What does she do for fun, for adventure? How is she this free-spirited woman? What would she do if she just let her heart and soul lead the way? What does she do for self-care? What do her finances look like? How much money does she want to earn? What is her energy like? What is her attitude like? What is her mindset like? How does she spend her time? How does she holiday? How does she travel? What does she do on her weekends? Does she have weekends? Maybe like a big dream of mine was to have my work and my life kind of flow into one, if that makes sense. I didn't want to be in the 9 to 5. I work 5 days. I have 2 days off, I wanted just the whole of me to flow into my work and to flow into what I love, to what I do, that I love. My role is fulfilling, so what is fulfilling for, what is fulfilling for you? What is important to you? What is a legacy that you want to leave? How does she leave a legacy to her loved ones? How does she allow people to treat her? How does she carry herself? How's her intimacy? How's her love life? How's the ambience in her home? What does she love to do with her family and friends? What kind of mother is she? What kind of a woman is she? What kind of person is she? What kind of thoughts does she entertain on a daily basis? What does she read? What does she invest in? How does she spend her money? What does she do for service? How is she connected to herself and her intuition? What does she do for spiritual connection and growth? How does her life flow for her? And that's a mantra I've always said, like life flows easily and effortlessly for me. So how does life unfold for her? How does life flow for her? Is she living in alignment with her values? Is she expressing herself freely? Does she show up authentically? What makes her healthy? What makes her happy? What makes her abundant? I've just been like a fire hose and just rambled off all these things for you. Ask yourself those questions and then get out your pen and paper and write those things down. Like write down answers to those questions. You can write them. You can dream them. You can sit in a quiet spot in nature and just visualize what she looks like for her. And you can really... I guess just dream, just dream and open your heart and soul to really show you, close down your eyes and show you a picture of what she looks like for you. She's still you. She is still the beautiful soul that you are. But I know sitting there right now, I know there's things that you're doing that aren't fulfilling you. I know there's things that you're doing that aren't making you happy, So just look at those areas of your life. Go to like that, there's that life balance wheel that if you were to look at all those areas of your life, what parts are fulfilled, what parts are ticking along nicely, what part needs work, looking at your work, your relationships, your home, where you live, your finances, your health, your legacy, what you do for fun and entertainment and recreation, looking at all those areas of your life. And then going through them and go, what do I want to make improvements on? What does this ideal picture look like for me? And dream it and feel into it. So you might want to go back to this episode, right? So you might want to listen to it and then go back and then answer some of those questions later on. You might listen to this a couple of different times just to really let this sink in. But start off with dreaming and really visioning, what does this authentic, aligned, future self vision of me look like, and get out of your head, get out of the I don't have time, I don't have money, that'll never happen. Just really try your hardest to just push those thoughts of resistance to the side and go, it's okay for me to dream. And just dream, girls. Just write it all down, feel it in your heart and soul, and dream. That is one of the first steps, is really getting clear on what you want, on your big why. You might want to flesh out a vision board. You might want to, after you've listened to these things, written them down, you might want to print out pictures. You might want to do it on your desktop on Canva and save it on your desktop. Put it on your phone. Put it on a cork board up somewhere in your home where you're going to see it. But put these dreams down, and it's okay to have these dreams and put them down. The next step, like the next part of this process, like you can dream, you ask and you will receive. You might have heard that, like you dream, ask and receive and believe, hold the faith. So dream big, ask the universe for guidance to help get you there. Ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask. Like it's really important to open yourself up to receive, to know that you're worthy of receiving these things. And I'm going to go through some steps to help you step more into your worth. But the first step is dreaming and asking and feeling into what you want. And this is where we get back to presence, right? Feel it now like it's already happened. Feel in your heart and soul like you've already manifested these things. Feel what it feels like to be healthy, to be free, whatever it was for you. Feel like you already have it. Feel it in your heart and soul like you are living it out right now. Feel it before you have it is one of the most important steps in the manifestation process, is really feeling in your heart and soul like you have it already, even when you don't. So I'm going to go into a moment in affirmations, like writing in the present tense. So really feeling into the present. The other part of the process is co-creation with the universe. It's okay to dream. It's okay to want these things, but also you have to co-create. Like, you have to take action steps. Things don't magically appear. Well, some things do magically appear. I've had a lot of things magically appear, but I also know I've done the work behind it. I've done the inner work. I've showed up and I've done a lot of these rituals, practices, all the things that I share with you throughout my podcast are things that I actually do, right? So I make the time for the inner work. So you might have to make time to take action. So to write affirmations, to write down your goals, to help shift limiting beliefs, to really rewrite some of this subconscious programming and taking the aligned action steps. So if you were to have this vision, because nothing happens, like you can have a vision, but nothing comes to your reality without taking some kind of actions, right? So if you were to think about this ideal future self of yours, think about what habits do you need to let go of to become her? Like, what habits do you need to start to bring into your life to become her? You know, how can you up level and improve your mindset and improve your thoughts and beliefs to truly step into your power? So for instance, if you had this goal, like you want to be so healthy and you want to have so much energy and you want to lose weight, and I do believe that weight loss comes with optimal health and fitness. Instead of focusing like just on the weight loss and instead of focusing on what you need to lose, focus on nourishment, focus on the habits of wellness. So this ideal future self, this ideal version of me, she's one who's healthy, she's one who takes exquisite care of her body. What does she need to do on a daily basis? So you will have to change some of your habits. So write down what habits, what action steps am I going to have to take to become her? So you're going to need to make time for exercise. You're going to need to make time to eat well. You're going to need to make time to order some good, clean groceries. You're going to have to make time for some food prep. Like, you're going to have to take some action steps. That's just really fundamentally important, is that you take these action steps to back up your vision. So getting clear on what actions do I need to take moving into the new year. At first, it can feel like a little bit of work, right? At first, it can feel like you need to make an effort to do these things. But over time, these habits start to become concreted. These habits start to become ingrained in you, that they just form part of who you become. But you need to make them happen. You need to take the aligned action steps. You need to get out of your comfort zone. But you also need to really support your dreams, really support your goals, really support your visions with this ideal future self of me, this ideal vision of me who is a woman who takes exquisite care of herself. How does she take exquisite care of herself? You know, what kind of people does she hang around? What kind of people does she associate with? If you're hanging around people all the time that are bringing you down and that are not helping contribute to your goals, you may need to look at who you're hanging around. You may need to look at the habits that you spend on social media. You maybe need to look at the habits of, where does my time go in a day? Am I spending time in my value areas that are going to lead me towards my goals? Or do I need to shift some of those habits and put the time into things that are actually going to lead me towards my goals? For example, turn off the TV and go and work out, or turn off the TV and go, get off your phone and go and do some food prep. Like, there are hard decisions and hard choices and action steps that you are going to have to make to back up this ideal version of yourself. So I hope that that makes sense. You're going to need to take some action steps. So have a look at your habits. Look at what habits you need to get rid of or what habits you need to change. And then write down some of the habits that this ideal future self of yours would take. What would she do in order to become this version of herself? You also, what's really, really important is you need to rewire your subconscious belief. So it's all well and good to write down this ideal future vision. I can't get my words out. It's all well and good to write down this, vision of your ideal future self. But then if you just put it away in your drawer, shut it in your journal and put it away and never look at it again, and don't take any action steps or don't rewire your subconscious beliefs, you're going to fall back into those past habits. You're going to fall back into those habits that are comfortable for you, that are familiar for you. You're going to go back into those old thought patterns. You're going to go back into those old beliefs. So writing down, I always find affirmations help me big time. So sometimes I write them down. Sometimes I just replay them over and over in my mind's eye when I'm driving, when I'm walking, when I'm in the shower. I've heard girls that actually record their affirmations. They record them in their phone, and then they like play it over and over when they go to bed at night or whenever aligns for them. They play their affirmations over and over just to rewire that subconscious programming, to rewire the beliefs, because a belief is only a thought that you continue to think. So you want to replace the thoughts. You want to bring in those thoughts so that these new thoughts start to become stronger and stronger, that you don't believe the old thoughts anymore, because you're starting to believe and feel and have the expectancy of this new version of you that you want to become. So I've got some affirmations here of mine, which I'll read out to you because actually, before I go any further, your power lies in repetition, right? So why I love affirmations is because it's something that you repeat over and over and over again. Like, it's like repetition is so important. Repetition is one of the fundamental things to really, I guess, the more you say it, the more you believe it. The more you say it, the more it just starts to become ingrained in who you are. It starts to become ingrained in your beliefs. It starts to rewire this story that you have told yourself in the past. It helps you to rewire and start to believe into this new version of yourself. And sometimes you don't want to write an affirmation that is so far out of this world that you don't feel it and you don't believe it when you write it down. For instance, if you were to write down an affirmation that says, like, I have $50 million, and you don't believe it, what's the point in writing that down? So you want to write down affirmations that, yes, you actually believe that you are capable of, but yes, they're still extended out of your comfort zone. So yes, you know that, like, it's like you're taking these kind of small steps to get there, if that makes sense. So, for instance, you might believe that you can bring in $500,000 versus $10 million, but you still know 500,000 is out of your comfort zone, but you know that it's something that you can actually achieve in your lifetime. Writing down things like, I'm a woman who earns $500,000, I have so much money in my bank account. But also writing down things that, how you want to think, how you want to believe. For instance, I would write down things like, manifesting is so easy for me. I always get what I want. Life unfolds easily and effortlessly for me. Everything always works out for me. I'm powerful. And all of those affirmations that I would write down, that would start to drip feed into my subconscious belief, that I just started to believe. And I would say to my kid, like, I always get what I want. And Riley was like, Mum, that's so arrogant. And I said, no, I don't, not in an arrogant way, in a way that I just have this trust in myself that I don't know when. I trust in divine timing. That's another affirmation. I trust in divine timing, but I know I will get what I want, because if my heart feels it, my vision sees it, I know it will be mine, and I know I will hold it in my hands, and I know I will receive it. I know that is just something that I've ingrained in me from doing years and years of inner work. So some examples of some affirmations that you might want to write some of these down. Definitely create your own. You can Google so many affirmations. You might want to write them down in categories like around health, around wellness, around finances, around love life, around relationships, around material stuff, around your home, or just spill them out as they come to you. I often just spill them out as they come to me, so they're in no particular order. But some I have written down. I'm grateful. I attract abundance to me easily and quickly. I'm a goddess. I'm a successful businesswoman. I always think positive thoughts. I have removed all resistance and blocks. I'm wealthy. I'm the chick that has it all. I'm magnetic and irresistible. I'm beautiful and radiant. I attract incredible people into my life who love and adore and respect me. I'm an incredible mother. My life is balanced. My body is one of pure wellness and vitality. I'm healthy and strong. I always trust myself. I love myself. I radiate confidence. I radiate feminine energy and sex appeal. I am safe. I'm secure. I'm always my priority. I practice yoga 3 times a week or 5 times a week or every day, whatever you want to put in there. I'm full of energy and I wake up early with a positive mindset. I am loved and have a loving relationship and a harmonious family. I am healthy, fit, strong, and lean. I'm running my own business, doing whatever it is that you want to do. I'm confident, step out of my comfort zone regularly. Everyone loves and adores me. My body is beautiful. I love my body. I have incredible energy. I nourish my body with clean, live, healthy meals daily. I travel where I want, when I want, and I take mini weekends away for me every quarter. My home is calm and balanced and beautiful and has a peaceful ambience. I meditate, I read and journal daily. I love my weekly, whatever it is, like dance class, yoga class, whatever it is, something that you've been wanting to try, right? But you're not there yet. Put it in there. I am fully healed. I am worthy. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I align with wealth and abundance. I'm living my dream life. Large sums of money stack into my bank account daily. I easily and effortlessly earn X amount of dollars per month. I love my job. I love my business. I love the people I work with. I attract my soulmate easily. I have $1 million ideas and allow them into my consciousness. I'm connected to source. I trust my intuition guides me for my highest good. Everything I desire is already mine. I'm amazing. I am valued. I am loved. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm whole. I always have the best relationships. I love and appreciate myself. I'm a strong woman. Everyone is kind and loving towards me. I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. My heart is filled with love and gratitude and peace. Everything I want aligns for me easily and effortlessly. All these affirmations I have been saying for years and years and years. Sometimes I write them down. Sometimes I just think, and sometimes I feel into them. And I want you to write down what aligns for you, what affirmations, because you want to start to rewire your subconscious beliefs. And I've written these things down when I didn't believe them yet, or I didn't see them yet, and they have manifested for me. So just write whatever comes up for you. Write I am or I. Try and avoid saying she will be or this will happen. Write it down like you are speaking from the present tense and you are living it now. Try not to think about just where you are right now. I think it's important to put things in there that you do feel right now. And I think it's important to have things on your vision board that you have already attracted and you have already manifested, because it makes it believable for you. Like I have on my vision board places I've traveled to with my family that have just been so meaningful for me, along with places that I want to go, if that makes sense. So kind of always, that's a little secret hack that I think is really important, is always writing down affirmations or having things on your vision board that you have already attracted or you've already manifested or you've already achieved and done, I guess, to just prove to yourself that, hey, I've done this, so now I can do that. So every behavior, every action that you take is based on how we see ourselves and how we see how we see ourselves out in the world. So the more that you can start to see yourself as this new leveled up version of you, the more you will start to take action steps in alignment with her. So you may need to, and I highly encourage you to replay that ideal future self exercise over and over again. Just write it out. Like, when you get to a point sometimes, and you may not have experienced this yet, it might come, where you're just writing so much that it's like the pen doesn't have control anymore. Like your soul is just doing the writing. Imagine, feel, and write down all the things that you want to be, do, have, attract, feel, everything that you want to have. Just pour it into your heart and soul. Pour it out on paper or sit and just dream it and feel it over and over again to really reprogram your subconscious mind and how you see yourself, seeing yourself as this higher leveled up version. Like, for instance, I am still working on this. I'm still writing down, I'm a successful businesswoman. I have found it hard to see myself as a successful businesswoman. People have seen it in me. People have said that to me, but I found it hard to see that in myself. So that's something I'm working on. Yes, I've seen myself as an incredible teacher. Yes, I've seen myself as an inspiring woman. Yes, I've seen myself as somebody who has something to offer the world. But I also wrote that down when I didn't quite feel that yet. Now I feel it. But back many years ago, I would write those things down when I wasn't quite there yet. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you, because our world is created by what we say to ourselves, and rewiring your brain takes repetition to target the subconscious directly, to reprogram, to delete the old story, delete the old programming, and replace it with your new story, replace it with your new self-concept. Repetition is how you manifest. Repetition is how you feel into your desires. Don't waver, girls. Do it often. If you want faster results, do it more. Just really feel into who you are and what you want and what you become. I'm banging on about this because this is what you need to do over and over and over again. Not once, write it in your journal, stick it in a drawer and forget about it. Really replaying it every day. So what rituals in the new year can you start doing to really start believing this new version of you exists, because girl, she is in there. You just need to see it yourself, because when you start to see it and you start to believe it and you start taking action steps, even for example, the action steps of, I ask myself these questions. What would a successful businesswoman do? How would she act? How would she show up? What would she do? What kind of daily tasks would she do? What kind of to-do list would she do? Would she get distracted on social media? No. Would she waste time doing this? No. So really kind of identifying what that version of you looks like and what actions would she take. And you've got to catch yourself in the moment when you're out of alignment and not doing the thing, and then get yourself back into alignment, doing the actions that she would take. For instance, if you go to hit snooze on your alarm and your goal is to be this healthy, vibrant woman full of energy, and you go to hit snooze, catch yourself and go, would that version of me hit snooze, or would she get up and go and do that exercise class? And then you have to have the discipline and the self-motivation. You can't wait for motivation from other people. You've got to really feel it in yourself. She would get up and she would go and do that exercise class. She would get up and she would go for that walk. So really identifying that version of who you are and what action she would take, because people often resist this, girls, because they think it's just so simple. It doesn't work. It's stupid, or like it works for other people and not for me. No, that's not true. It can work for you too. And it does get back to some of these simple behaviors, some of these simple disciplines, some of these simple action steps, some of these simple dreaming exercises that I'm taking you through, because your thoughts are powerful and you become your reality. So you want to modify your brain. It's like that reticular activating system in your brain. You know how when you say to yourself, I want a black Range Rover Sports, then you see no secret of what car I want to get, and then you see black Range Rover Sports everywhere, or you see these things everywhere, or you go, I want a red car, and then you see red cars everywhere. It's about rewiring that part of your brain, that subconscious part of your brain, so it starts focusing energy on what you want to attract, on what you want to create. And this self-concept, this ideal self-vision, is designed to kind of put you back in that empowering way of thinking and feeling. And you have the power to reset it every day. Every day you get up, you have the power to, what am I write my affirmations, to sit in mindfulness, to sit in visioning, to sit in creation, or hit snooze, run out the door late and start your day reacting to life. Girls, you have to have some discipline and have some power and have the trust and the faith and belief in yourself that you are capable of these things, that you are capable of getting out of your comfort zone. Because when your internal state changes, your external reality changes along with it, because your world is simply a projection of your consciousness. So who you are being is everything. Repetition is where the shifts happen. Keep affirming, keep writing, keep feeling into that affirmation until it becomes your reality, because it will. You have so much power inside you that you hold within, girls. You can be, do, have, or attract anything that you want. I feel like I have just been honestly like a fire hose this morning. I have so much passion and so much inspiration that I want to share with you, and just so much faith that I have in you. But you need to see it in yourself. You need to get out of your own way, and you need to do some of these things that I'm sharing with you, because this is how I've manifested a lot of what I want. And this is how I know there are bigger things in me. There are bigger things that I want to create, and I'm going to do these things all over again for this next level version of me. So it's a constant process of leveling up. It's a constant process of, you set goals, you write goals, you feel into them, you reach them. What's my next level? And then you do that process over and over again. It's a constant process of growth and evolution, and rewiring your subconscious beliefs over and over again. But it comes back to your why, girls. It comes back to your big reason why. It comes back to your values, that authentic alignment, that authentic abundance. What does authentic abundance mean for me? Asking yourself the questions, and then really making a decision moving forward. If I want this next year to be different, I have to do something different, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. You need to take different actions. You need to Get out of your own way. You need to start to believe in yourself. You need to just know that you are born worthy. You're not worthy when you have the thing, girls. You are worthy now. You are born worthy of having everything that your heart and soul desires. You're worthy of that dream relationship. You're worthy of having the life that you want to create. You're worthy of living a fulfilling life, of doing what you want to do for work, of living where you want to live, of having all the things that you want. You're already worthy. You don't need to wait for anybody else to tell you that. You don't need to wait to have the things to feel worthy. You feel worthy now before you have the things. I hope that has helped. I hope that has, I've given you a lot to think about. I've given you a lot to digest, but just keep it simple. Ask, desire, feel, and believe. Trust in your desires, because if there's a desire in your heart, it means it is in your capacity, it is in your realm, and you absolutely can achieve it, my friends. I will leave that with you, Angel. Wishing you so much light, love, health, wellness, abundance, vitality, energy, all the things that you want in the new year and beyond. I wish all of that for you and more, angels. Bye. So much love to you. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode and want more, feel free to follow or subscribe on whatever platform you listen to. You can also head over to earthyangels.com or join our private Facebook group, Earthy Angels Connect, for more community, blogs, updates, inspo, motivation, support, and to connect with a tribe of like-minded souls. And if you have a moment, we would be super grateful if you would love to leave a review. Sending you so much light and love, Angel.